What's up, everyone? This is Too Slow. Today I am going to drop my transmission and see what the hell is going on with my car. Reverse is grinding. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, shift fine. At high RPM, 8200, I can't pop out of first gear. It doesn't grind, I just can't get it back into neutral or taking second. Got fed up with it and I'm just gonna say fuck it, let's drop it and see what's going on. If not, then I'll just buy a new transmission, I guess. It's whatever, shit happens. Got the car on jack stands. It's nice and sunny out today, so just gonna start disassembling everything from the top, put everything in the trunk. And my goal for today is, as I said, just drop the transmission. That's all I care for today. Engine can stay in there for all I care. Doesn't really matter right now. Just my goal right now is the transmission. Going to remove the intake, the battery, just all this little nonsense stuff that I could remove easily from the top. And then we'll go to unplugging stuff. Make sure you label your stuff. Make sure you save every bolt. Put it in a Ziploc baggie. Name it. Name the bag. Name like, throttle body bolts, battery bolts. Separate everything, people. It'll make your life a lot easier. It's common knowledge, and don't rush. Take your time. Obviously, I said I needed it done in 3 hours, but I feel like I could do it in 2. So don't forget about this ground that comes from the strut bar. So all the way down here, right there. So one method I like to do when I take out bolts like this is I like to put it back where it goes, like if it's only for one thing. So there it goes. And you just put it back in and you should be fine. Move on to the next one. What is this right here? The vehicle speed sensor, I believe. Pretty sure it is vehicle speed sensor. So we take that out. Don't forget about it. Make sure you connect it back. Just trying to get everything out of the way. Remove your got the pin. Don't lose those. So with both of the pins removed, you can now remove both your shift cables out of your way. Now what we want to tackle are the brackets. These C-clips, 1, 2, they slide right out. To remove your shift cables from their bracket, this you want to lift up. So as you can see, fuck, come on. There it goes. That's one. Now to pull up the other one. I'm putting my camera. Is it gonna pick it up? No, because this hose is in the way, but if you look, let's see. Okay. Let's see if I could do this with the hose out of the way. Oh, we got a leaky hose right here. What's this hose right here? It's all leaking and shit. This right here, we're leaking something from there. Gotta remove. What is this? Coolant line? Yeah, it's for my heater core. Come on. There it goes. That's 2 of them out. You should be able to get your, let's see, now they're out of the way. Out of the way, so when you lift up, they don't get stuck on anything. Just tuck them away, you should be fine. Same deal with the clutch line. You have one clip, just 2 clips. You have, looks to be a 14 millimeter bolt right here that you need to take off. if you keep following the line, then you come right here where the slave is at. And you want to remove the, oh come on, focus. You want to remove the 10 mil that was right here. It looks like I forgot to put it on when I put the extension. And then I believe that is a 12 mil you'll also take off. And then this should be able to come out. But be careful, if you let this rod come all the way out, then everything comes out, and then you need to rebleed the system. So I'm gonna get like a zip tie, maybe see if I can get this to hold in. If not, then it's all right, we can still rebleed this system. I forgot to also show one ground that you have right there. Looks like a 12 millimeter. It's the ground that goes to your battery. So you want to go ahead and remove that one. Don't forget about it. So what I ended up doing, because I didn't want to break open the line right here, is I just put the clip back in, the C clip, and I removed this 14 millimeter, and the whole bracket just came off. So I put the 14 millimeter back on, and now I'm gonna get this last 12 millimeter, and the slave will be able to come out. There's actually two 12 millimeters, you didn't even see it, but there's one literally right next to it. What I got right there, two 12 millimeters, and the slave will come out. What I ended up doing was put a piece of cardboard on where the push rod is at, put 3 long zip ties together so it can stay shut. I don't want to leak it right now. I don't want it to like drain, or I don't want none of the bullshit to come out from it and I accidentally lose it. So I just did that. I know I'm gonna bleed it once everything is put back together. I'm gonna bleed it anyways, but I just don't want to lose the stuff that's in there. So I ended up doing that. Plus the line can bend. There's a rubber piece right here where the line can bend. Zip tied it to the strut bar. It should be fine for now. Got side to side. I put the bracket back on. 2 12s right there. They're back in place. Clutch line is out. Clutch cables are out. What else? What else? Axles. Gotta take out the axles. Let's go ahead and do that. To remove the starter, you want to remove this 14 millimeter. There should be that 12 millimeter, that connection, and you have, should be one lonely bolt over here. It's right here. That one right there. What, the starter? Right there. Take that one out. Out came out the starter. If you guys remember, I bought this starter, I think it was almost 2 years ago from LKQ. Had 60,000 miles on it. Seems to be okay. But yeah, you have the one plug right here, the 12 millimeter, and you have the 1 and 2 14 millimeter bolts. Let's go ahead and set this right here. I'm gonna put everything in the trunk in a bit. Just gotta set stuff down. So you have the 14 going this way, and then you have the other 14 going the other way. So they're opposite. One goes out that way and the other one comes out this way. Really simple. As long as you remove the heat, the fan, you should have enough space to remove it. Easy. I should have probably recorded this when I did it, but when the car was on its 4 wheels, I took off the center cap and I punched out the indentation that the nut usually has right here. I punched it out, and with the breaker bar, I was able to get that loose. And just right now, what I'm doing is just have my 1/2 inch and just getting it out so we can pop out the axles. And it should be really simple. Did it on both sides, well prepared. They say you should get new ones of these to not reuse them, but I mean, I've had luck reusing them, no problem down the line. But I guess let's see. It doesn't even look all that bad. I'm probably just gonna end up reusing it. I wish every axle was this easy. Check this out. I wish every axle was that easy. Didn't even try to get it out. I'll probably do the same thing on this one and record it this time. So for the driver's side wheel well, I removed the bolts and nuts that hold the strut in place. They are 19 millimeter. The ABS, no, not the ABS. Yeah, the ABS one, 10 millimeter. Then the one that holds the bracket for the brake line and the ABS, it's a 14 millimeter. Put that one back on. And everything should be hanging now like this. Axle's easy to pop out. I'm gonna put the bolt for the axle back in as well so I don't lose anything. And there it goes. That's simple. It's not hard. Now let's see if we can remove the driver's side axle from the top. Don't be silly like me and forget a drain pan. But anyways, it was really easy to get out. Just use a crowbar, and all you want to do is just like that, and this will happen, and should be able to pull it out. On your transmission, right here is going to be your drain, and that's going to be your fill. For the drain, it's a size 24, and you need a short head, because then you'll hit the control arm. Same dealio, righty tighty, lefty loosey. Already drained it. Out came out the passenger axle. This one's actually really easy to remove because, for one, it doesn't even have the lock. It doesn't come with a lock ring because it gets held on with this bracket. So it just slips right out. You don't have to pry it out like the driver's side with a crowbar or anything like that. Really, really easy to take out the passenger side. So now let's just focus on the bolts that hold the transmission and engine together, and then actually let's tackle the motor mounts first. We got the rear motor mount bolt out, the one that goes all the way down there. I don't know if it'll focus on it, but anyways, I made it come out through right here with this long ass extension. And it worked. To remove this mount, all you have to do is grab a 14 millimeter open end wrench to hold this side, and then extract this one out, and this should slide out. And then you want to lower the engine a bit to be able to access this one over here, or you could probably get an open end and also take it out that way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 14 millimeters, and then you have 3 on this bracket. You don't have to take off this bracket, but it makes the job a little bit easier maneuvering the transmission out. So they're all 14 millimeter. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open end wrench, extract. Bolt should come out, and then you have 3 on the transmission itself. Here's the front one. Pretty much open end wrench to hold this side and get the nut to come out this way, and the bolt should come right out. And same thing, there's 2 right here on inside, you can see. Take them off. It makes your job a lot easier, trust me. I tried to do this with leaving these on. Same with this one. I left them on and it made my job a lot harder. Just it doesn't take that long. They're 14 mil. Take them off. Trust me, it will make your job a lot easier. Then for the mount, underneath you have 2 14 mils in there. You have 2. Take those out, and then this mount should come right out. Here is one of them right here. It's on the other side. That's one of them. It's a 14 millimeter. Take that one out. It's a short one, so don't get confused when you're putting that back in and putting a long one. I did the same mistake. That's a short 14 mil. There's another short 14 millimeter. And right here, you have 2 long 14 millimeters. Make sure you don't put that long one in this one, because you will crack your transmission. You will crack it. And yeah, 14 mil. Those are long ones. These are the short ones. There's a bracket that goes right here that I guess it's like a engine to your manifold bracket. Take that off. It makes the job a lot easier. Trust me, you can get away with doing it with not taking it off, but it will make the job a lot easier. This is the bracket in question. It's like a, I don't know if I'll be able to do this, but it's like a bracket that just goes like this. I gotta put mine back in when I'm done with it. But 14 mil, same thing. 1, 2, and 3. Take those off, and you'll be able to get easy access to those two 14 millimeter, the long ones. So that's 14 millimeters. Now let's go to the top. Here are two 17 millimeter bolts. These are your top ones. Remove those two, and you should be able to separate the engine and the transmission. Those, I believe, are the last two. So there's 6 that hold the engine and transmission together. That does not include the 2 from the starter. You have the, oh crap, you have the 14 mil right there, and then you have one on this side. Those 2 are for the starter, and then you have the 6 for the engine and transmission. 2 on top, 2 on the back, and 2 on the bottom. And these 2 are considered the front on the starter. That should be enough to separate your engine and transmission. Then what you want to get is like a pry bar. This one's a Harbor Freight pry bar. And you just want to separate the engine and the transmission, and be sure to have something down here to hold on to it. Maybe like a stack of tires or something, so that way it doesn't fall and break. Is that normal? Like all this bullshit? I don't think it's normal. Is that really my issue? Is this really my issue? Like, fuck. Look. I don't know, man.
No me dejan ni llegar con ella al corredor. ¿Qué quiere? ¿A quién se le trae? No, nadie. Déjame. Porque aquí están. Ya la cagaste, me la pagas.
Fuck.